Now, what did living between these two cultures teach you about belonging? Because at some point, you probably were also kind of like ambivalent and wondering, and, having come from another culture, how did you, what did you learn about belonging?
It was in my personal case, right? Because everyone has a different experience, but in my personal case, it was really hard in the sense that I feel like I always wanted to go back and learning a new language and like becoming familiar with a new culture. It was really hard. And then my mom was always working, and it was not even 2 years after I came here, I had a baby sister that I used to pick up at the babysitter when my mom was working. And I used to come like at the age of 14 and needed to pick up my sister at the babysitter and things like that. But I was surrounded in a community that first, I didn't want to speak English. Second, because I dropped out of high school, even there was a limitation in my vocabulary in Spanish and also in English, right? Because for those who come from their country and they're illiterate,
Hmm.
it's hard for them to learn a new language, right? But if you have a good foundation in your own language, then it's going to be easier to learn. So in my country, my mom used to move a lot. It was not really a strong education that I have. So when I come here, there is this book, My Left Foot, and the character he has, and it's based on a true story. He has cerebral palsy, right? And the family, the mom, the everyone around him didn't think that he was able to understand what they used to say, but the mom didn't give up, and she used to work with him until she realized that he was able to understand, right? So they started giving me classes, and he used to depend on somebody else to like write for him. He used to tell them once he learned how to speak. And then one professor told him like, you don't need nobody else to write your story because you know your story. You just don't have the words to express your emotion, how you feel, right? What is surrounding you. So he started reading a lot. So I feel like it helped me. I started reading and enriching my vocabulary. And also in Spanish, because when I went to Lehman for my bachelor's, I had a double major, as you mentioned, multilingual journalism and Spanish. And I say, if I want to learn English, I need to learn Spanish. And because, it's not only speaking, it's writing properly, all the different words that you can use to express your feelings and emotion. So for me, it was like India Maria. Ni de aquí ni de allá, not from here, not from there, right? And
Hmm.
always with that feeling of wanting to go back. But then when I was over there, I didn't feel like I belonged there either. And it was that constant struggle. But once I started going to a community college, then to Lehman, I have been working at Lehman for the past 20 years. I have communities, right? And now I belong not only to the Bronx, Dominican Republic, right? It's donde yo nací, but like DR and also New York, the Bronx.
Yes, and that is the beauty of, I always say, having an additive approach, right? Not this
Mm-hmm.
subtractive manner where you're now taking away instead of adding to your richness. So this is a good thing.